Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. I don't really have a whole lot of planned video to do for you, but just going to kind of talk about some things I've kind of updated recently and kind of show you some stuff and what I'm going to shoot at the match in IDPA this Saturday. So I'll show you the Archon. I did do a few little things. I changed the sights, and I actually made a mistake because I wanted co-witness sights and I mismeasured a couple little measurements, and although these will co-witness like barely with the red dot, they just barely stick over like a few thousandths of an inch over the dot, so they don't really co-witness as well as I wanted, but it'll work for now, and maybe one day I'll fix that. It's funny because the front sight actually worked great, but the back sight wasn't what I expected. I can still use it because the front sight will stick up over the window so I can see it, and so I can actually co-witness. If I barely see that front sight, it's almost a perfect co-witness in that sense, but it doesn't co-witness quite as well as some of my other guns. So we may fix that later, but I did change the sights, and I do like the front blade, and I even like the rear blade. If I would have just got it a little bit higher, I think I would have been really happy with it. But it works out, and I think I'll keep it for a while like that because I can co-witness if something happens to the dot or the window or the battery. I can use this. Use these iron sights as backups. Finally got me a TLR1 HL. A lot of people give me a lot of crap about the Olights, but I really like my Olights, and I'll continue to keep them and use them. And it's just one thing I don't understand is I like the Streamlights. I have several flashlights of theirs, but for how bulky and expensive these and the X300s are, I just don't know why you don't get rechargeable batteries out of the box. Like, it doesn't make sense to me why you have to replace batteries and pay for batteries when you literally could have rechargeable batteries that could last for years and years. So that's something I don't understand. But yeah, that's really all we've done to this, but we're ready to shoot it on Saturday, and hopefully it'll run really well. You know, last time I shot an IDPA match, I dropped the magazine out twice because this button was sticking, I think. So we're here to test that theory. The button is fixed, so if it was me dropping the mags, which I don't think it was, we'll find out in this match because it'll probably happen again. But if it doesn't happen, I'll know that I fixed the problem. So I'm a little bit nervous about that because, you know, one thing you hate is shooting a gun and having little issues that cost you time and you just don't perform as well, and it makes the gun look bad too, and sometimes it could even be us. But I'm pretty sure that I fixed the problem. But yeah, I'm hoping this thing runs 100% reliable, and it has been 100% reliable besides me dropping the mags, which I think was this button issue. I think it was a gun issue that's been addressed and fixed. But let's hope so, and I hope I have a good time with the gun. I hope the light will help put a little weight up front and kind of let me have a little more balanced shots, and it's a little bit easier to stay steady on target, I feel like, with a little bit of weight on the gun because I'm used to shooting heavier metal guns. So I think I'll kind of like that. Also, I got the Omnivore holster, which I really do like, and I might do a video on this at some point or another. Actually, I'm putting this backwards. But I might do a video on this holster, just show you really quickly what I've done. I do like the Omnivore, and yes, this has been safety checked, so don't worry about that. I've been dry firing it, so I know it's been safe. I've been practicing a little bit. But one thing I did with the Omnivore holster is and guys, don't get me wrong, this is not for everyday carry. This is not for right now. This modification is not for that. This is just for the competition. If I was going to carry this for security or whatever, church security or anything else, I would take this out. But I basically pressed the button down and drilled a tiny hole and screwed this in, so I can take this in and out, and I can activate the retention from the button or deactivate it. So, because I noticed with the Archon, the gun fits fairly tight. There's not much wobble, and that's really kind of amazing because I think this holster has quite a bit of wobble with some guns. I'll have to test that out later. But with this gun, it's fairly tight, and it's really kind of hard just to get it to fall out. I mean, you can't just really get it to fall out. Yeah, I could turn it upside down, but I was trying to jump with the holster and kind of twist and stuff with the holster, and I couldn't get this thing to hardly move. So as long as I'm standing upright, even if I'm jumping or running, I don't think this gun's going to come out with the button pressed permanently while I'm at the match. And I didn't want to have to worry about, with as little practices I've had with the holster, I did not want to have to worry about me going to do a draw and it making me lose time and the gun sticking or something. So I didn't want to have to worry about that in this match until I get more practice with this holster, and it's got enough retention to hold it in when I'm just standing up. The gun, those of you that don't know, the gun stays unloaded while we're at the match, you know, until you're ready to shoot. And then when you draw it, while you're running around and shooting, you never put it back in the holster. So this gun will be safe the whole time. So don't think, oh, there's not enough retention on that holster, you're being dangerous. No, you're not being dangerous, because there's nothing in the gun when you're standing there before you shoot. You load and make ready on the line before you shoot, and then you instantly draw. You never move around and then draw. So there's nothing unsafe about this, guys, for the competition, and that's what I kind of made this little screw for, is to kind of hold it in to where I can just carry the gun around with no retention. So when I do my draws, they're quick and fast, and I don't have to worry about that, and it fits the light really well. It's hard to find holsters for this gun, and it's one reason why I went with the Omnivore, because it's hard to find holsters for the gun that especially with lights and stuff. So this holster should work out really well, since I needed a light holster anyway, and I have so many guns. It's why not? If I have the Streamlight now, why not have a holster that fits all the guns? And so that was my thoughts. If you have any questions or comments about the gun, or just kind of sharing my updates on it, what you think about it. Do you think it looks good? Do you think it turned out good so far? The ports are awesome. Really like them. I think the Streamlight looks really good on this gun. I've never been a huge fan of the light sticking way out past the gun, but this one sticks just far enough past it to where it don't bother me too bad. The X300, is a little bit longer. I don't like it when a light sticks out a good 1.5 2 inches past the gun. That's always bothered me. It's just kind of my OCD. I don't feel like it goes with the gun, and this is kind of bothering me a little bit, but I'm okay with it. It's a little better than some. So I kind of, in a way, as far as looks go, I almost prefer it to have a little short compensator on the front just to balance it out. For my, I guess, what I like, for my likes and the way I like something to look, I kind of prefer that. But with these ports, you don't need a compensator, and don't have no way of putting one on. So I still think it looks good. It doesn't look bad. It doesn't stick out too far. What do you guys think? Do you like the Streamlight on this gun? Let me know. All right, the port comp, we won't shoot it for a while. I tell you guys, the more I play with this, and the more I look at it, and the more I think about my last match results with it, even though we had a couple lock opens that we accidentally did with our grip, I just really like this gun, and I think I fixed that problem like I showed y'all before. But yeah, I just really like this gun. It's like the trigger's getting better and better. The gun's getting slightly smoother, which I like, because that's the one thing I didn't like about it at first, is how rough the spring and the lock open was. It's always going to be like a Glock. Unfortunately, I can't fix that, but it's getting better, and to me, it's better than most Glocks out of the box. But that's up to your opinion. You may like the way a stock Glock looks and the way a stock Glock feels. So, and if you like the way a stock Glock feels, you'd probably still like the way this one feels. I mean, it's just really nice. It's a really well put together gun for the price. Just super awesome gun, and I like it more and more. And I tell you what, for the price, you can't beat this thing. I thought about doing a head-to-head between these two and maybe my P10, because they're all kind of Glock 19 size, but we've kind of done similar things in the past, so I decided not to do that. We might do that eventually, but just talk about kind of which ones we like better and why, and that's a tough decision because they're all different. I'll just share real quickly with you, since I said that. Between these three guns, they all shoot super flat, but it's weird how the recoil characteristics of all three of these are somewhat different. They all shoot flat, they all shoot soft, but they all shoot different, and it's kind of weird, because I would say this one's kind of in between these two, and this one shoots extremely soft, has a little bit more muzzle flip, but not much. It's still very flat. This one shoots maybe not quite as soft, but soft like that, but has maybe a little less muzzle flip with the comp and the ports. But this one, because of the way it's made, and the low bore axis and the big ports, it shoots the flattest, but it also has, I mean, it's almost as soft as this one, but it has a little bit more energy into the hand feeling. But they're all outstanding. I mean, they all are almost identical in how fun they are to shoot and how good they shoot. And when you pull the trigger, the sensation you get when you're running it fast, they're pretty much identical in most ways. And it's hard to compare one with the other. I will say at this point, this one is the one I trust the most, but I've had a lot more time with it. And it took me a while to get it there. Those things I had to do to get it there, it took years of, I mean, it was good at first, but it took years of shooting it to get confidence and to work out little bugs and things I didn't like about it. And these are pretty much new to me still, so we're still working on getting these to have the confidence in these two that we have in this one. So, yeah, guys, just letting you know, what do you think about the Omnivore holster? I like it pretty well. It's bulky, but it's a good little competition/duty holster. If you can wear something that can hide this, it'll work with a nice light, and I think it's pretty heavy duty and pretty strong and keep the gun safe, and and everything, but I really like it. But yeah, I just wanted to share that little mod I did for just the competition, and I can take this in and out whenever I want to. It just screws out by hand, and you can activate the button or deactivate the button. So I kind of think it's cool. But guys, let me know what you think. Please like and subscribe. God bless. Have a great day.